Okay, so in this video, we are going to remove the engine from my 66 Mustang. This is where the carburetor was sitting, and I didn't want to buy like one of those lift plates which you attached into the engine hoist. Those things are pretty expensive. They cost like 80 to 90 bucks for this engine, so I decided to make my own. And this is what I'm going to be using. Just this piece of steel. I'm basically going to drill one hole and then a second one large enough so that the studs from the carburetor fit through. And I'm just going to tighten it down with the nut. I'm going to probably drill another hole where we can then attach the engine hoist. And I mean, this is pretty thick. I think this should definitely hold the weight of the engine. I'm going to pull the engine with the transmission out as one unit. So the measurements from the studs are 13 centimeters by 8.8, and the stud themselves are about 8 millimeters thick. So yeah, that's what I'll be working on. I'm going to drill the first hole. It's going to be somewhere around here, and then 13 centimeters to the right, it's going to be the second one. Okay, let's see if that hole is big enough. Gonna head out to the car. Let's just test fit that. Not quite. Yeah, that looks nice. Alright. Now all we gotta do is drill the exact same thing again. Probably gonna have to do some minor adjustments. I might file the holes out a little more. We'll see here. Wow! Oh, very nice. Okay. Perfect. Just like that. Sick. Okay. Nice. Very, very nice. And I'm probably just gonna cut it right here with a nail grinder. And then we gotta do the same thing on the back side, and then we should be able to pull this thing out. And then I'm gonna do the same thing again, and I'll catch you when that's done. Nice. All right, see you. There you go. Perfect. Look at that. So this is what the plan looks like. It finally fits. Had to do a lot of filing. As you can see, I had to drill out that hole a little bit because it wasn't fitting correctly, but I fixed it. No biggie. Alright, so the plates fit, everything is pretty much prepared. The only thing I still have to do is drill the holes for the engine hoist itself. But that's no big deal. Other than that, everything is disconnected from the engine. I got the radiator removed. I got the power steering pump disconnected. Basically everything that attaches to the engine has been disconnected. The only thing I still need to disconnect is all the stuff from the transmission, and I gotta take off the transmission cross member underneath the car. So that's what I'll be working on next. Alright, so I'm now underneath the car, and we have to disconnect the following things. So these two lines are for the oil cooler lines for cooling the transmission oil. Those go to the front, to the radiator, and there's one connected over here, and the other one is connected up here. So those two lines need to be connected. Then obviously the transmission cross member right over here. So there are 2 bolts down here that hold the transmission in place, and then we have 1 bolt over here, and the same thing on the other side. So those 4 bolts need to go. The 2 coolant lines for the transmission oil, and then here on this side, let me bring some light over here. I think that this cable up here used to be the kickdown cable, and that got connected to over here, right over there. And besides that, everything I think is already disconnected. So that's what we have to disconnect now: the 2 coolant lines and the cross member. Okay, so I forgot about one thing earlier to mention. This right here, the speedo cable that goes to the dash. Yeah, obviously you also need to disconnect that. I didn't mention that before. Alright, so we are ready to pull this engine out. Everything is disconnected, the hood is off. I cut a piece of the downpipes off, but these bolts are just so rusted that there was just no way to get them out with the engine inside the car. So I hope I'm going to be able to pull it out even with these attached, but they're pretty loose, so it should work. So let's get the engine hoist out and pull this thing out. Okay, so I can't believe I did it, but I did it. I pulled the engine out with the transmission. It went a lot better than I expected. I didn't really have any problems. One problem I did have was that I had this tilted too much, so I wasn't able to turn it anymore because it was hitting this this bar right here. So I damaged this radiator support or whatever this is. Damaged it a little bit. As you can see, it's bent up a little bit here, but other than that, I spilled a little bit of ATF, as you always do, I feel like. But yeah, wow, it's out. I can't believe it.